Welcome to the Parent Guardian Cookie Training 2021 for your troop. This year's cookie season runs from Saturday, February 6th to Sunday, March 28th. Now, per a recent Girl Scout update, girls can actually start selling on February 1st. That means she can start taking orders from her family and friends. She just won't have the cookies on hand to start delivering until the 6th. This year's cookie lineup includes one brand new cookie, the Toastier. It's a French toast inspired cookie. It's actually really good. I've tried it before. And it's also the last year for s'mores. So if you have any customers who are a fan of s'mores, definitely let them know. Now there will be a cookie that will replace s'mores, but currently there's no news of it just yet. A very big change that will be happening this year is that all cookies are $5 per package. Last year, the main lineups were 4 and our gluten-frees were 5. Now this year, every single one of these cookies are $5, including the gluten-free. Also, same as previous years, the gluten-frees are in limited quantity. So the troop will have a certain amount until it runs out. After that, the troop will not be able to order more. In terms of cookies and their popularity, Thin Mints are still our #1 sellers. So if you do stock up on anything for inventory, I would recommend Thin Mints. Next on the lineup would be Caramel Delights and, kind of an equal playing field with peanut butter patties. So I would say these are our big threes: Caramel Delights, Thin Mints, peanut butter patties. Next up, lemonades are also very popular. So depending on who you have as your customers, lemonades can, add up to as much as these big threes, or it could be, a very good amount, but still not as high in quantity as these. The Toastier, since this is the first year, we're not quite sure on how well it's going to do, but it is very good. So I do imagine that it will sell pretty quick once your customer gets a taste, buys their first package, and perhaps they might buy more. Our shortbreads and peanut butter sandwich typically do not sell as high. You will have certain customers that really prefer one of these two, and they will buy a little bit more of that, but I would recommend not stocking up on peanut butter sandwiches or shortbread, and maybe just order as you need for those. For s'mores, again, it's a hit or miss. It maybe doesn't sell as high as lemonades, but it's still out there. And it also depends on who your customers are. You will have some people that are more favorite, and the others, when they have to make a decision, they will most likely pick lemonades and then one of these big threes a little bit more. I would recommend, if you do not have family or friends who are gluten-free, I would not stock up on these, and I would not order much of these at all. Most likely your customers will be choosing one of these lineups of the cookies instead of the gluten-free. Now this year for rewards, we have our Super Squad, and that includes our instant reward lineup of these fluffy keychains, ranging from elephant, and the highest would be the jellyfish. And then of course we have other items in the lineup here. How girls earn the rewards is that for every package she sells, she will earn, it would lead up to reward items, and it would always also lead up to cookie dough earning. So let's say, for example, if she sells 310 packages of cookies, she will earn the B, as well as all of the instant reward items that follow underneath that led up to the B. So it's all cumulative. So let's say at that 310 packages, she would earn $82 in cookie dough as well. Cookie dough is her program credit. She can use cookie dough to purchase items in the shop, to register for camp, to perhaps renew her membership next year. Anything related to Girl Scouts, she can use cookie dough on. So we do have another perk, is that if she were to decide, I don't want this Bumblebee plush, I have a lot of stuffed animals at home already, she could make that decision of swapping the bee out for additional cookie dough. So all of the items that you do see the cash graphic right here, that means those are eligible to be swapped out for additional cookie dough. So let's say if it's 310 package at $82 for cookie dough, if she swaps out the B for more cookie dough, she would end up with $87 of cookie dough. Now, even if she switches to B, she will still be able to keep these items here. So she can make the decision on specific items and which items she wants to switch out. In addition to cookie dough and rewards, patches will also be earned. So you'll kind of see what she needs to do in order to earn these patches. All of the reward items, except for the instant rewards, will be mailed out by the vendor directly to your girl at the end of cookie season. So usually around end of April, early May is when everything is completely processed and ready to be mailed out. The only things that you will be receiving from your troop leader would be the instant reward items. So these instant reward items will be received upon picking up your next order of cookies. As soon as you order 36 packages, your girl will earn the elephant, for example. Patches will also be mailed out by the vendor, not the troop leader. On top of what your girl will earn, the troop will also earn incentives. So the troop will earn troop proceeds, and troop proceeds is listed right here. So for every package that each girl in the troop sells, the troop will earn, up to 65 cents per package. In addition to troop proceeds, the troop will also earn experiences. So that usually counts towards a per girl average. So if the troop average sells over 230 packages per troop, that's the average of how many girls who are selling in the troop versus how much money or packages the girls sold. They would earn the Gimme S'more Mud Run, for example. So ways to sell cookies, of course, during the pandemic, we are definitely trying our best to make sure that everything is contactless and do have resources for families as well as troop leaders for how to sell. For this year, girls can sell online, in person, through troop booths and lemonade stands. For online sales, there are two options. New this year, a customer can actually go onto the girl's website, pay directly on there, and then ask for the girl to deliver it to their door. So that means if, let's say, your next door neighbor wants to order cookies, you can just share the link to her website to them. They would get on there, they would run their credit card. Now the credit card will not be processed until the cookies are delivered. So once you see that, Bob next door wants to buy 4 packages of lemonades, you'll take a look at your inventory and say, oh, okay, it looks like I do have lemonades. I will go drop it off at his porch. And then I would get back on the website and identify that the cookies have been delivered. Once you have identified that with the system, the credit card will then be processed. Now, let's say, for example, you ran out of lemonades. Then that's when you'll contact the customer saying, hey, I'm going to get more of lemonades to deliver to you, but just wanted to give you a heads up, let your customers know. Now, let's say if you're completely out of inventory and you won't be getting inventory for a while, or you're just done with your sale in general, you do have the option to decline that request, and the credit card from the customer will not be processed. Your troop leader will also have the ability to help void those orders for you. Now, the second option for online complete contactless sales would be direct ship. So this is especially good if you have families who live far away. They can pay online through the website and have it shipped directly from the warehouse. Keep in mind that when it's shipped directly from the warehouse, it's still not taking a dip into your physical cookie inventory. So if you are someone that is wanting to minimize the inventory that you have, perhaps direct ship might not be the best option if the customer has the ability to, get the cookies from you directly. So that's kind of up to you. Direct shipping costs. So Girl Scouts of Greater Iowa is actually paying for part of the shipping costs to kind of help the customers out. So if the customer orders between 6 to 12 packages, the shipping cost will only be $6. Your troop does not have the answers or be able to make any shipping decisions on logistical changes or anything like that. We do have the email address to who you would contact if you had specific shipping questions. So ABC Smart Cookies Direct at westonfoods.com. So in-person sales, girl delivery from online orders. So again, just what I said here, a customer can request that a girl delivers while paying for their cookies online. Going back to traditional order taking, that is still allowable. We do recommend to families to follow CDC guidelines to make sure that the girls are social distant, masks are worn, utilize your best precautions. We want the girls to be safe during the cookie sale. Order taking means you would have the order card that the troop leader will give you, and your girl can, start calling relatives if she wanted to do door to door, and we can talk more about resources for door to door and staying distant in a later slide. But later on, once she knows what her customers are ordering, she will request cookies from her troop leader, and we'll talk more about that on how to request cookies. Direct sale, again, is when she has money or cookies on hand and the customers are giving her money, she gives the cookies right away. And it's a very direct transaction. Additional ways that customers can pay for their cookies is if parent guardians, if you have other cash apps just like Venmo, Zelle, and if that works for your customer, they can always pay through that way, and then your girl would drop the cookies on their porch or drop it off at a spot, move away, and then they can grab the cookies. So there are a lot of different ways that we can stay contactless during our sale. Smartcookies.com is the website where you and your girl will manage her inventory, track the online orders, and take a look at where she's pacing. Now, everyone should have received a Smart Cookies email that prompted them to go create a login account from Girl Scouts of Greater Iowa or ABC Cookies. I actually am not sure who was the one that sent it, but I think it was sent on January 19th. If you do not find that email or if it's not in your junk or spam box either, please email info@gsiowa.org. So that is info@gsiowa.org to request a login. That is not something that your troop is in control of. So booth sales. Booth sales is when girls from a troop get together and work at a booth. Booths are usually located in front of grocery chains or other high traffic areas that are deemed safe for girls and volunteers to be at. The inventory for the booth sales are used from the troops, so it is not your girl's inventory. So let's say if your girl was invited to participate in a booth, she leaves her cookies at home. She would be selling the troops' inventory and not hers. A booth consists of at least 2 girls, so we need at least 2 girls to call it a booth. It should be led by 2 volunteers to make sure we do have enough for ratio and also support. The leader sets the booth up. Now, if you're a parent guardian and you have connections to a local business that you want to suggest as a booth for the troop, definitely email your leader and let them know. Typically, booth sales are usually around 2 hours long. The girls at the very end of the sale, what the troop leader will do is take the total packages that were sold and divide it evenly amongst the girls that worked at the booth. Now, most of the time it's divided evenly. Now, let's say if Susie you know, if the booth was 10 to noon and Susie only worked from 10 to 11, and then Ava and Abby worked from 10 to noon. So that's the scenario where the booth sales might not be divided evenly, and it would be divided based on the hours. So Susie might get a little less compared to Abby and Ava, just because they worked longer. If you have questions based on booths, let your troop leader know. Look out for email communication, as your troop leader will be emailing you in regards to, you know, when our booth opportunities. Now we'll make sure that we utilize precautions, so booth sales, masks are required, and social distancing are required as well. Lemonade stands, similar idea to booths. So it's, again, setting up a sales or a table at, you know, in public, whether it's in your front yard or, you know, at a local business. The main difference with lemonade stands is it's an individual girl run stand. That means the inventory comes from you and your girl and not the troop. Lemonade stands are something that parent guardians are the ones setting up, and it's not related to the troop function, or the troop leader is not the one to make the call on lemonade stands, or, you know, the one to set it up. One thing that I know Girl Scouts of Greater Iowa did indicate that we cannot do is we cannot set up a lemonade stand at the same location as where a council or troop secured booth is. So booth sales, these booth sales here. So for example, if there is a booth at Jordan Creek Mall, which there is, your girl cannot set up at the Hot Topic, or, you know, like a specific shop in Jordan Creek, or even out in the parking lot, just because there is a booth in that area already. So I would recommend contacting more of friends and family who own a business to see if your girl can, you know, set up a table outdoor, indoor, depending on how much space is in there, and double checking to make sure that, you know, there isn't usually booths that are set up by troops. Now, if it's a small shop and they say, yeah, there's usually a booth, just make sure that it's not the same day and same time. It shouldn't be two booths, a booth and a lemonade stand at once in proximity. Other ideas that we are exploring would be drive-through booths. So for example, we have a car that starts here to pay. They will drive to the other side to pick up their cookies. So again, it allows customers to remain in their car and for our girls to remain socially distant. And with the help of adults, we can load cookies in their trunk, have it be contactless. So just a couple of options that we are exploring. We also are exploring virtual booths. That means it might be an online event where customers will know exactly where the link is. They would pay on there, and then they would arrange for a different time to come pick up cookies, where we could, you know, have an event in a parking lot somewhere or a location that's safe, to have customers, you know, drive by, pick up their cookies, and again, remain contactless. How customer pays for cookies. So customers can pay for cookies with cash, check, or credit card. Checks should be written out to Girl Scouts or Girl Scouts of Greater Iowa. Please review your customers' checks before you turn it into your troop leader. The reason being is we've had checks where the customers might have missing fields. They might write it out to the girl and not Girl Scouts of Greater Iowa. All of those mistakes will require the troop leader to contact or to figure out who that check belongs to, which girl, you know, was the one who turned in that check amongst all of the checks that they may have received from other girls. So please help us save our time and your time by double checking the checks that your customers are turning in before, you know, kind of saying your goodbyes. So you've been curious on how to receive cookies from your leader. So for Molly's troop, how you're going to get cookies from Molly is you are going to follow or go to this link. So it's tinyurl.com. We shortened it for you, /Molly's cookie form. We would like for this form to be submitted on Saturdays by 11:59 or by midnight, for the reason that Molly will be submitting the overall cookie order for the troop, based on what everyone's requests are, to Girl Scouts Sunday, and that is a Girl Scout deadline. So please make sure that you are submitting it by Saturday night. Any order that's submitted after midnight is not guaranteed. So sometimes it might, like kind of make the cut, but it is not guaranteed. You will then pick up the cookies at a specific time the following week. So I'll go through everything more in detail for you in the next couple of slides. So first off, this is what the cookie request form looks like. So again, you would follow this link. You would then go to these forms right here. So this is the desktop view and this is the mobile view. So the first prompt that you will be required to do is check, I understand that I am financially responsible for the cookies I order, and I'm aware that the cookies are non-refundable. So this is very important. We want to make sure that this is something that you read every time before you order cookies. So the cookies do not belong to Molly. The cookies are Girl Scouts of Greater Iowa inventory. Girl Scouts of Greater Iowa purchased the cookies from the baker. So after that, the troop purchased the cookies from Girl Scouts of Greater Iowa on behalf of parent guardians in the troop. So whatever you are ordering, when Molly places that order, she is financially responsible. The troop is financially responsible for those cookies. So for any cookies left unsold, the troop would still need to pay for those cookies, and that will dip into the troop's proceeds, which means that it will be less money for the troop leader to utilize to provide experience for your girl. So we want to make sure at the end of the day, the girls are not impacted by this. So when you request those cookies and Molly, orders them for you and hands them to you, those are your responsibility. So even if you have purchased, 5 cases of Thin Mints and you can't sell them all, you would still need to pay for that amount. So please make sure that you are staying conservative with your orders. If you're unsure, if you have guaranteed buyers, then by all means order what you need. We do not have a minimum or a maximum of what you can order for cookies. So next you would select what your troop number is. The following page on the form is where you can request specific cookies. So you can see that we do have it in increments of 6 and then leading to, by 12 here. So there are 12 packages of cookies in one case. For the very first week of orders, we do request that you are ordering by increments of 6, AKA a full case or half case. The reason is the first week inventory is usually very heavy, and we do have a special pickup date for you. And we want to make sure that you are in and out and you are not waiting in line to pick up your cookies. I know everyone has a place to go, and we don't want you to spend your time waiting in line. So to make it easier for us and to make it possible for us to get you in and out, we do require to keep those orders by those increments. It would be easier for us to break down the boxes and get you what you need. Now the following weeks, we will customize these numbers so that way there's more flexibility for you to order specific to the quantity that you need. But it's just for this first week where we do require that orders are either in full cases or half cases. So the final page will ask a couple of pickup questions. So first of all, we will ask you, is this a brand new order that you are placing for the week? Or if it's an order that you are submitting because you made an error on the previous order. So that would prompt us to void the previous orders that you've made. Or that this is an additional order because you had more customers and you needed to add to the quantity of what you're ordering. So please indicate that for us. You will have your pickup options here. So pickup dates on a weekly basis for Molly's troops are Tuesdays and Thursdays from 11 to 1 p.m. or 4 p.m. to 6. So you will need to indicate when you are picking up. Now, for the very first week, again, since it's a little different, we do have a special pickup date for you, and that is Saturday, February 6th from 9 to noon. The first week is the only week you will see that Saturday option. For the following weeks, you will not. So this is the very first day that, you know, every troop in Greater Iowa will get their cookies. So we want to make sure that you guys also get your cookies on that date. So that is a special pickup date. Now, if you are not in a hurry to get your cookies or you have something going on, then just select, you know, the normal weekly hours on when you would pick it up. So then you would pick it up the following week instead. At the end, you will be able to print off a PDF of all of the responses that you indicated on the form. I would still recommend jotting it down beforehand in case if you forget to print it off or anything, just to kind of play it safe so you know what you ordered. Now, we want to make sure that we give the cookies away to the proper person. So if you cannot pick up your order, if someone else is picking it up, please indicate it in here so we know. We will verify their contact and just to make sure that they are the right person who is picking up the cookies. The pickup schedule is included in this presentation. So going back to the screen here, submitting your order by Saturday night, and I'll explain a little bit more here. So after, for the very first cookie pickup, which again, the earliest you can pick it up is Saturday the 6th, you would need to place your order pretty much by the end of this week, January 30th by midnight, in order to pick up your cookies the following Saturday or the following Tuesday and Thursday if you, you know, aren't in a rush to get them. And then on the other weeks, it will be, again, just kind of a weekly pattern here. So once you've kind of gone through some of your cookies and you need more, submit your week 2 order request by Saturday the 13th to pick it up either on the 16th or the 18th. Week 3, again, Saturday the 20th, picking up the 23rd, 25th, and then that goes on. So for this year, we want to make sure that inventory that's requested versus the money that's coming in is consistent. So when you pick up your cookies initially, you do not need to pay for cookies upfront. We do not require upfront payment for those cookies. What we do require is that you are paying along the way. So we don't want you to pay everything on this deadline here on the 31st. We want you to be paying on a weekly basis. That's also a way for us to help you manage your inventory to make sure that you are not getting too excited and ordering too many cookies that you end up not selling. We don't want any parent to be in cookie debt because this is supposed to be a fun and learning experience for the girls. It should not be something where parents end up in financial burden. So what we will be looking for is if you place an order and you picked it up this very first week, so your week 1 order, and then you place another order on week 2. So that week 2 is when we will be asking for, hey, you know, it looks like you are placing orders for additional cookies. That means that you probably sold some of the others already. Can we get that money from you? Oftentimes we might actually have parents who end up in a situation where they're hanging on to that money, the money gets stolen, it's misplaced, whatever it is, because they were waiting on turning it in, and we don't want that situation to happen. We want to help you, you know, get that money off your plate. And so please definitely consider that we will be asking for, you know, partial payment of those cookies, you know, every week that you are picking up. Now, all money is due on the 31st. Please make sure that everything that you owe for the troop is turned on this date. The reason why is after this date, Molly will need to submit a girl shortage form to Girl Scouts of Greater Iowa if any money is not paid after this date. Now, the girl shortage form means that Girl Scouts of Greater Iowa will start contacting you to figure out a plan to obtain that payment. If parents go MIA or is not responsive to a certain date, Girl Scouts of Greater Iowa will file that to, you know, for collections, for external collections. So please keep all of that in mind. Now, I know it sounds super serious, but it's not always the case for families. It's just mainly if we do have those situations, that will be the protocol. The last day for cookies is March 28th. That's the absolute last day for any type of sales. So how you pick up the order. So once you've submitted that form to request cookies from Molly, what you will do is you will already know your pickup date because you selected that. So you will arrive on that pickup date to Girl Scouts of Greater Iowa office. So that's on Hickman Road next to Living History Farms. There will be a specific area in the parking lot that you will be parking. Please do not park in front of the office. That is used for our troop leaders, our staff members who will be entering through the front door. For you, it would be on the side door. We do have specific protocols for it, so please follow that. You will park in specified parking lots, so there will be signs and cones to show you where to park and where you cannot park. Once you arrive in your spot, please remain in your vehicle. We want to be as contactless as possible for our safety and your safety. Each parking space will have a parking sign. This is an example of it. It will have the parking number, a text number, and what we want you to text. So we want to know what troop you are in, your girl name, and parking number. It does not have to be in full sentences. It's just, just straight up, just text this information to us. Once you text that, just wait for us. We will respond back saying, hey, got it, we'll be out. So then we will be pushing your order out. We will be standing to the side of your car to count the order with you. So you will be in your vehicle. We'll kind of do the signal thumbs up, thumbs down, roll down the window a little bit, whatever it is. Please wear a mask during pickup. Even though you are sitting in your vehicle, there still will be contact of rolling down the window, or at some point we will be loading cookies in your car. We will be wearing masks. And masks are required for people in the car as well. We do recommend that kids stay at home if possible. We do understand sometimes that is not the case, but if it is possible, please leave the kids at home. We want, the space to load cookies, and we want to have as little contact as it is with your girls as well. So when we're out with your cookies, this is the form that we will be handing you. I have it filled as an example for you to kind of get the idea. So all of the information that were requested on the order form will be inputted on the top. Your orders will be here. What we would want you to do is, while we are counting the cookies outside of your car, you will initial each line item to make sure that the cookies are properly counted. If you have cash or check to turn in, we will record it here. Once everything is done, we will give you a copy, and we will also have a copy. And this is the copy that we recommend. Please hang on to it during the cookie season, so that way you can refer back. If you are someone that loses things easily, snap a photo of it right away and save it. Once everything is finalized, we will load the cookies in your trunk or back seat. So please make sure to have that area emptied out beforehand. So then that way we can kind of do a quick load and get you out. So that pretty much sums up our cookie picking up process. We do have something this year to help new families and also existing families from the troop manage their cookies. Now, if you already have a system that you use to track those cookies, by all means use that. But if you do not, we do have a tool for you. This can be a printout, or it could be on an Excel sheet. This is an example of what the printout would look like. We will send it to you via a Word document, so that way you can customize it as you need, or however you decide to kind of organize things. And the Excel workbook, we'll send that out as well. But in this case, it's pretty much, once you request an order from Molly, or your troop leader in general, you would mark how many packages they are, the total, how much you owe, and then kind of keep track of your inventory this way, and then also like how much you have been making for payment. It will be very helpful if you also keep track of this on top of what your troop leader is doing. So at the end of the season, you guys can kind of compare numbers to make sure there's not any discrepancies. This is the last page of our presentation. These are the helpful links that we recommend you bookmarking. gsgibridge.com / cookie family resources. It's a one-stop shop for all of the cookie resources that your family might need during cookie season. This is a website from Girl Scouts of Greater Iowa. It will include information about smart cookies, tips about social distance selling, tips on how to create a QR code. So it looks like this for your customers to snap a picture to get online, activities that your girls can do to help her set goals, a lot of different things. So please bookmark that. Please make sure to visit it before the cookie sale so you know what your resources are. abcsmartcookies.com. Again, that is the website where you and your girl will manage her sale. You would be able to customize the website, your website, a postcard that your girl might be able to email out to her customers, looking at, how much she's earned, all of that. tinyurl.com / Molly's cookie form. Again, that is the form that you will be requesting cookies from Molly. That is the only way you should be requesting cookies. If you send a text, that's not going to apply to the order. We have so many parents ordering cookies. We want everything on this form. So if it's not on this form, it is not official. So please do so. That's the only step you need in requesting cookies. You do not need to do anything else. There is a physical order taking form that Molly will be giving to your girl. That form is for you and your girl to keep to manage your own inventory. So let's say if she's selling to grandma and then Uncle Frank or whoever it is, she would write down their order there, and then you would add all of those orders up, request those cookies from Molly, and once you get those back, you will go back to your own order form that was handed out to you, and determine where these cookies go after that. So it's a way for you to manage your customers. We do not need that order form from you. That is just for you to use for your own management. There's going to be a lot of questions during cookie season. So again, just reiterating your leader's contact information. If there's any lengthy questions, anything disputes about orders or questions about orders, please use email, and then any additional like reminders or quick questions, text, call would work, but anything that's lengthy that you might need to refer back to, please keep it all in email so that way it's easier for us to kind of reflect on the discussion. This QR code also leads the form, so depending on how you want to access it, we do have everything linked up right here for you. And that concludes our training for cookies for this year. There's one thing that I'm forgetting. Nope. All right, well, thank you so much.